In the previous module, we have discussed the detailed structure of few organelles like mitochondrion, lysosomes, ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, centrosomes, and centrioles. Let us now discuss with the next part of the cell, that is nucleus. As you can see the diagram of nucleus, it has double membrane, outer membrane and inner membrane. You can also see the nuclear pores between the membranes. Why are these pores present? They are present to establish communication between nucleoplasm and cytoplasm. Why is it required? Because any important organelle or substance which is required in the cytoplasm or nucleoplasm should be transported. For example, ribosome is synthesized in nucleoplasm, nucleolus, but it is required in cytoplasm. So it should be transported through these nuclear pores. Now you can see inside this nucleus, nucleoplasm, the semi-liquid part of the nucleus is present. In this nucleoplasm, the thread-like structures, these chromatin fibers, they are suspended. They have the genetic material. So when these chromatin fibers condense into chromosome at the time of cell division, so these chromosomes actually have hereditary units called genes, which are made of a chemical deoxyribonucleic acid, that is DNA. You can also see this circular structure in the nucleus, which is called nucleolus. Its main function is to synthesize ribosomes. And what is the function of ribosome? Yes, the main function of ribosome is to synthesize protein, which we have discussed in the previous part. So, nucleolus is also involved in the protein synthesis. Now, can you see any difference between this cell and the animal cell? If you observe closely, you will see that it has an extra covering outside the plasma membrane, and this covering is called a cell wall. So, which cell is this? Can you guess? Yes, this is a plant cell. So, plant cells have cell wall which is absent in animal cell. Now, what is the cell wall? It is a outermost covering of a plant cell which is freely permeable and made of cellulose. Its main function is to maintain shape and rigidity of the cell, and it gives protection to its inner cell contents. Do you see any other difference between this cell and animal cell? Yes, this chloroplast, which is absent in the animal cell, but it is present in plant cell. This chloroplast is a type of plastid. So there are basically three types of plastids. Chloroplast, which is green in color because of presence of chlorophyll pigment, which main function is to absorb sunlight for the process of photosynthesis. Chloroplast also they have their own DNA for the self replication. Next plastid is chromoplast, which is a colored plastid which has carotenoids, that means xanthophyll and keratin, which give red, orange, and yellow pigments in yellow color to flowers and fruits to attract insects and animals for cross pollination. The next plastid is leucoplast, which is a colorless plastid which contains no pigment, and its main function is to store starch. Do you find any other remarkable difference between plant cell and animal cell? Yes, this big structure which is pushing nucleus to a side, this structure is vacuole. Now you can see its diagram here. Its membrane is called as tonoplast, and inside the tonoplast, cell sap is present. In this cell sap, anthocyanin pigments are present which give blue, violet, and purple color to the plants. Do you find any difference between this cell and plants and animal cells? Yes. If you look closely, you will see that there is no definite nucleus in this cell, but they do have genetic material. They do have chromosomes, but no nucleus. So these genetic material is present in the form of nucleoid. And which is this cell? Can you guess? The cell is a bacterial cell, which is a prokaryote. It means prokaryotes do not have a well-defined nucleus. But animal cells and plant cells have. That means they are eukaryotes, which have a well-defined nucleus. So prokaryotes and eukaryotes also have some things in common like plasma membrane, cytoplasm, DNA, and ribosomes. But prokaryotes do not have any well-defined nucleus. They do not have any do not have any membrane-bound organelles. That is why only they have ribosomes. They're very small in size. They have only one circular piece of DNA. But eukaryotes do have a well-defined nucleus. They do have all the membrane-bound organelles like Golgi apparatus, mitochondria, lysosomes. They are very large in size and they have several DNA packaged into strands called chromatid. In the next module, we will discuss about protoplasm and differences between plant cells and animal cells.